Welcome back, VA user. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the standard costing method. As I have told and mentioned previously that a standard costing generally used for the manufacturing industry, and whenever you are selecting the standard costing as your method, then you need to push or you need to enter the cost of that particular product yourself. Otherwise, the system calculates that cost first time. If your cost is zero, then system calculates based on to the AP invoice or whatever the calculation comes for the weighted average invoice. The system push in that particular cost. So it is always to enter the cost for the product yourself, or you would be able to import. You just need to ask for the cost. If any customer asks you to use the standard costing as a costing method, you will ask whether the opening stock is available or it is not available. It is the responsibility of the customer to provide the cost of all those products. Now, I have created one of the example to showcase you that what happens into the system. Onto the left side, you would be able to see the costing engine status, and onto the right side, you would be able to see the Vienna Advantage transactions. So onto the left side, I have given a certain color, and I'm saying that for the product, my per unit cost is going to be 25,000, and presently I do not have anything, so you can assume that I have imported this data or I have entered this particular data in my costing engine. Again, for this you need to create a product category and you need to select your costing method as standard costing, and I'm considering here the costing level as the organization. You need to create a product and assign that product to this product category, and thereafter you need to move on to the costing engine, that is the costing info window, and select your costing method as standard costing and give the per unit cost as 25,000 or whatever you want to give. So in my example it is going to be 25,000, and thereafter we are now the status, it is on 4 4 2023. Now I just, or it is not 4/4, it is going to be 1st of April. Okay, so let me change. So it is the status on 1st of April, and on to the 1st of April as well, I'm just procuring this particular material, and I'm procuring this material with the cost of 27,000 per unit. So you can see it is 27,000 per unit for the same product, where the cost I have given is 25,000, and then the vendor sends that material, and 4th of April I have received this material, all the 100 quantities, and during the completion of the material receipt you would be able to see the status. It will never change, instead only the quantities gets updated by the system. Your cost remains 25,000 only, and thereafter when you process the AP invoice and there is any difference between the PO price and the AP, and between the AP invoice and purchase order price, this difference is also not considered by the system, and your cost remains 25,000 only. And when you are selling this particular product, so whatever the margin you want to earn, you just place that margin and drive your sales unit price. It is going to be 35,000 in our example, and thereafter we did this delivery of 50 quantities on 5th of April, and at this time it is not going to be 27,000. The people think that it is going to be with 27,000, since our procurement happened with 27,000. Instead, it is going to be with 25,000, as my costing engine says that per unit cost for the product is going to be 25,000 only. So on 5th of April, when we process the delivery order or the shipment, then the system change the quantity, but there would not be any change in terms of the per unit cost, and thereafter AR invoice generated and sent to the customer. Thereafter, a new purchase order on 5th of April is generated, whose value is 26,000. Thereafter, we are going to receive this particular material, and after the receipt, even you can see that is on 6th of April, and on 6th of April the status remained 25,000 only, and my quantity becomes 150, since we procured next 100 quantities with 26,000. Now in this way, Even after the AP invoice, you can see there would not be any change by the system, and at the level of the costing engine, it remains only 25,000. Now the question arises in our mind that we are procuring with the higher end while my standard cost is onto the lower end. Now what would happen if I want to make the change at this particular level? Whether the system allow me to change? Yes, system allow you to change the per unit cost at the level of the costing engine, as I have mentioned that you need to enter it manually. To make this change, I will not recommend go and directly make this change yourself. Instead, I would request you to use the inventory revaluation concept available into the VA system, and using that particular concept, you would be able to update the cost of all such products. Normally, it used to be this method used into the manufacturing industries, and there going to be direct and indirect cost involved. And after calculating all those costs, the system used to calculate the cost of the final product or for the FG or SFG. And thereafter, from the revaluation, again, you would be able to update the cost of such products. But again, if it is industry other than manufacturing and somebody wants to use the standard costing, so you just need to keep in your mind that the cost will never change whatever would be entered. It would only change if you will do the inventory revaluation transaction. So that's all in this particular video. I hope you would be able to understand the standard costing method. In case if you have any kind of doubt, then I would request you to enter the comments. We'll try to give you the answers. And if you think that this video is helpful enough to understand the standard costing method, then I would request you to like our video and subscribe our channel. Till then, thanks a lot. Bye bye.